so I think we're good. So so this is Sophia and Steve. I'm Jeff. Question is, what do you think happens after we die, after this life, and how did you get to that belief? So
you want to go or I go?
No, you go.
Well, I think like my grandmother is like really religious. So I think one thing she's told me is that, well, what her opinion is, like when we pass away, we get reincarnated into somebody else.
Okay.
Or like we come back as, rather we come back as like somebody else, we come back something in nature. Like we get rebirth, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's reincarnation.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
So like I'm obviously female now, but like when I die, I could be another female, or I could be male. Or
Okay.
I could be a dog. Like I don't know. Like,
Right.
That's. I mean.
Now, when you say your grandmother's really religious, is it a certain religion that she's in?
She's
or?
Catholic. Yeah.
Catholic.
She's Catholic.
Okay, but she really believes in the reincarnation.
She believes that we'll come back as something else, or something useful.
Yeah.
More that way, we're not just we died and that's it, and then like.
Yeah, when you say useful, you think there's a purpose to it?
I think so. I think God has a purpose. Like, there's a reason why like you're here recording this. There's a reason why I'm with him walking. There's a reason why, like, you know what I mean. I think there's always a reason.
Yeah. What do you think, Steve?
I don't know. I feel like it's really back and forth with me. What I've always been like taught was like when I die, it's either like it depends on if I sinned or not, whether I go to hell or heaven. But like getting older after hearing that a lot, like I didn't really like see that there was the heaven and hell. I always thought that the heaven and hell was earth. Like we're living on heaven and hell.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of wicked and there's a lot of good people.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like a lot of the things that happen to you in life, it all depends on how you are like in life. Like you believe in like vibrations and energy and things like that.
Do I?
Yeah. Like whenever like you met someone, like they say like, oh well, you got to meet that person, you got to vibe with them, you got to get to know them.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like the energy that they give off, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I go based off of. I feel like a lot of things that happen to us is due to the energy that we attract.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that like if we do a lot of bad on Earth, like our energy frequency, it goes low, you know, like like we like our energy is pretty, you know, like kind of like paganism.
Almost sounds like karma, if you know.
Yeah, karma. You know, like
karma.
I believe
which
in
is
karma
a term related to reincarnation, you know.
Yeah, I believe in that. I believe like a lot of what we do in this lifetime affects us.
Yeah. And
like if like we do bad, you know, there's like a good chance that our energy is going to be low, and there's not a good possibility of our energy that's going to last. You know what I mean? Like, do you believe in chakras and all that stuff?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm Christian, you know, so that's not something that's part of Christianity.
Like, but I keep an open mind on this. Like,
I'm just trying to hear other people. Like, how did you get to your beliefs? I guess so. For you, it's more your grandmother. Would you say that's the primary influence?
So,
yeah. How about you?
Oh man, it's just like after like learning about other religions like Buddhism and
well, the one with reincarnation and I want to say karma. I'm not sure about chakras. I'm not sure where that comes from, but I think maybe you're thinking
India,
Hinduism.
Like that too. Like I've met a lot of people that are like of different religions and stuff. And I come from a family that's Catholic.
Yeah.
And I got converted to Christianity when I was like 11. 11 going to
Christianity
like 10.
as opposed to Catholic.
I stopped going to Catholic church. I started going to more Christian church.
Okay.
So they started bringing me in, like going to.
And was that the New Life? What the location?
No, it was Hammond, Indiana.
Okay.
With
the one they pick you up in the bus.
Yeah, on the bus and sing all the songs and all that stuff.
Yeah. And then since then, it sounds like you've drifted a little bit from that.
Well, yeah, because I feel like not to go against the Bible or nothing like that. I feel like the Bible teaches us a lot of valuable lessons and stuff. But I feel like it's just like it's someone's like life from beginning to end, like a lot of chapters that he went through in his life, and a lot of things that we can learn from those chapters. You know,
in the Bible.
Yeah, in the Bible.
Oh,
you know, like a lot of the things that we face in life is kind of related to what we face in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's a
So
similar.
there's definitely a lot of stories we can relate to.
Yeah, you know, and I feel like that's just like us. You know, like we can pretty much write our own Bible. You know what I mean? And we can like we can do a beginning and end. You know, like about things and about lessons and stuff like that. And I feel like that's just what it is. You know, it's just a story from another man who just teaches us like right and wrong. You know, like and like cause and effects and stuff like that. You know.
Now
so that's why.
Now you were talking about this idea of like there's a purpose for all the different reincarnations, and for you like the karma, like it kind of like weighs on a balance scale, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like do you believe in a God or a higher power or a creator?
I do believe in a God and a higher power. I do believe that there's like
one that has a personality,
a higher being, you know, like that's more pure. You get what I mean? Like, you know, like have you ever met someone who's so nice that you can just feel their energy from a mile away?
Sometimes
like,
people,
you know, you know, like that's what I mean. You know, like you can just feel like someone. Like, you know, depending on how they are, like their essence, like just from a mile away, you know, as opposed to someone who's grimy and like, you know, negative. Like you can just feel that you won't be able to get to know that person later on in life, or you won't see yourself hanging out with that person because of how they are, you know.
Like what's your when you think of God, like do you ever pray?
I only pray when I want to, like when I want to send like you know, like good vibes, or like you know, just thought like towards someone who needs it, you know, like someone who needs like to heal, you know, like like is it the idea of like, God, please help this person, or is it more like, let me send good vibrations their way? You know what I mean? No, it's both. I think it's both, because you know, like I don't know how to explain it.
It's hard to know, right?
It's just your faith, you know. It just all depends on, you know, it just all depends on how you see it, and like your faith. That's all, you know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who don't have faith, they don't tend to like stick out on things like wrong.
Well, one of the things about faith is it's trusting in something that you don't know exactly how it's going to come out, or you can't see it, and you know, like a person could have faith in a lot of different things, right? Mm-hmm. So if I had faith in a broken chair that it's going to hold me up, it doesn't matter how much faith I have, it's not going to hold me up, right? But if I have faith in something strong, so the Bible, Jesus actually said, if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, which is like really small, you can move a mountain, right? And so what I get from that is it's not like my faith that's so important, it's what I put my faith in.
Yeah.
And so if you put your faith in something that can really handle it, that we can really trust, you know, like Jesus was saying, trust in God, you know, He's the one that are, you know, the object of our faith, you know, that sort of thing. The reason I was asking about like having a purpose, do you feel like God is the one that gives you the purpose, or some kind of a?
I feel it's like how you're saying, like about faith, and you just have to just put it out there. You have to just. I feel like it's just wherever life leads you, you feel like a purpose. Like someone gets a new job, you have the faith of, okay, I have this job now, but later on I'm gonna move up. Or if you know, someone breaks up with somebody and you know you're devastated, well, there's a reason why, you know. So whether it's the universe telling you two weren't good together, or it's God telling you He has something better planned for you.
So it's comforting to know that bad things that happen for a reason.
Yeah, obviously in the moment, bad things like, oh damn, you know, like I had a bad day, or like this happened to me and it's just getting worse and worse. Yeah. It's as long as you have some type of faith that it's gonna get better, then it will get better. I believe that.
Yeah. Now, did you have a religious upbringing other than your grandmother, or?
No, not really. It was more of just whenever. I mean, I used to go to church for like a while with my grandparents.
Catholic
church, and then like my grandmother passed away, and then like we just stopped going. She was the anchor of it all. Yeah. So it was like when she was gone, it was like we all just had that downbringing, and it was like then again I had to put my faith back in it, and see if it was just gonna get better.
Well, I want to respect your time. One of the things I'd like to encourage you to think about is when people kind of come up with, like you were saying, you were searching and you looked at different religions and things like that. When we come up with different ideas, it's kind of like, you know what a buffet table is? Like you go up and there's like all these different foods, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to take what I like and I'm going to ignore what I don't like, right? The Bible actually says, the second commandment says, you shall not make false images, right? And what that's based on is, like, back in the day, they used to make actual, like, statues that they would bow down and worship. And the convenient thing about those things was you could worship it and then maybe get it to, hopefully it would do what you want, and then you go away and you don't have to deal with it. Like, it's there and I'm going to go over here, right? So it stays in one place. And so they were kind of like constructing a God that they could worship and that they could kind of use for their own, desires, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was a God that they were comfortable with, but it wasn't the real God because it was an idol. It was just a piece of stone, right? And so it was like made by human hands. Well, in our day, we actually some people do still worship, like physical objects like that. But even more common is people kind of like construct a God in their own mind, like their imagination, and something they're comfortable with, something that kind of serves their needs, but then they can adjust it or change it, And
that's how every religion is.
Huh?
That's how every religion is.
Yeah, and so if you take ideas that you like from, if you take ideas that you like from different religions, then you're kind of constructing your own God. So the one that you grew up with, hearing about the God of the Bible, it's like when you read the Bible, you're not making it up. It's there. It's presented to you. God is presenting Himself to you. That's the purpose of the Bible. You were saying like you can hear different stories and learn from them.
Yeah, because there's different. I mean, with the Bible, there's so many different versions of it. You know what I'm saying? Like Old Testament, New Testament, and like I forgot what other ones. King.
Well, there's
John,
King James,
King James, and all that stuff. Like the Bible that I grew up reading was just a regular Bible. You get me? And seeing all that switch, it's just, I feel like, sometimes religion, like it plays its part and like it bounces back and forth on certain things. So I stopped like getting into it because I also started noticing that like a lot of religions war like over beliefs and stuff like that. Like extremists and stuff like that, and I tend to stay away from that because that causes a lot of like. Well,
yeah, I mean, like 9/11, those were religious people, right?
Yeah, like with 9/11 and stuff like that, I don't know, like I don't think it was more religion. I think it's just more of just like it's just the person, doing bad things and just it's just that's what I mean, like about negativity and stuff like that.
That's what I was gonna say is like what we put our faith in.
Yeah.
So 9/11, I mean, these people had faith. They had great faith. But I believe they put their faith in the wrong place because their faith led them to kill themselves and a whole lot of other people with them, right? If we put our faith, I'm a Christian, I put my faith in Jesus. Jesus says, follow me and you'll be fishers of men. Instead of killing other people, we're here to serve other people, and we have a purpose in life. And, He gives us meaning and value in our lives. And so that's where I would say it's really important not just to have faith, but put your faith in something solid, and not a God of our own imagination or our own construction, because then we're basically making an idol, So can I challenge you guys to just kind of like check the Bible out again, and like, because you've probably read it as kids, and you've heard some Bible stories. I don't know, when's the last time you read it, Steve?
I said when I was like 15.
How old are you now?
20.
20? Okay. So you return to the Bible and you start, because the thing about different versions of the Bible, they're all, there's only one version I would say don't read, and that's the Jehovah's Witness Bible, right? Just because they have changed it, But all the other Bibles, they're like one, they're not in the original language. The original language were Greek and Hebrew and Aramaic, right? So there's got to be a lot of different versions of the Bible because there's a lot of different languages on earth, right? So German, French, all the different languages.
Yeah.
So they interpret them from the original, so they're one language removed, right? So would I say that I can trust the Bible? I trust it 99%. Just because people do make errors in terms of like translating it from the original language, but it's only one language removed. Now, as far as the English versions, there's different, there's Old English, the King James, we don't even talk that way anymore, and then there's like new versions, and then there's versions where they're trying to make it, like there's a difference between British English and American English, international English, things like that. So there are different versions, but I trust them. I'm a history teacher. I've looked into it. I do trust that how the Bible got here, it's through a process that I would trust. Yeah. But different versions are there to help us, except for the one. Yeah. So do you guys have Bibles?
I actually don't.
Okay. Yeah, I just encourage you to check it out again. And what do you think of Jesus? Like what's your idea about him? Like, why did he come? And I think you've probably heard a lot of it at the Hammond Church, right?
Yeah, we are Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good news that but it doesn't make a lot of sense if you don't know the bad news. The bad news is we have sinned, we've broken God's commands, we don't deserve heaven. But the good news is God took human form and took our punishment for us,
Yeah.
And I just encourage you guys to look at the Bible with that idea that, God, it's like a love story. It's like what God has done for us, So I appreciate your patience.
Yeah, it's fine.
Can I give you guys something to read to kind of like stimulate your thought a little bit more about this? So it would be free. This is kind of an interesting book written by a guy who asks these kinds of questions, and he's noticed a lot of people have common questions, like where'd the Bible come from, for example, and there's some parts in there about that. And then, let's see, what should I give you? Oh, I'm going to give you this one. This talks about the different religions.
Okay.
And so Hinduism's in there, reincarnation, all that would be in there. Buddhism is comparing them to Christianity. So, all right? All right. God bless you.
Appreciate
and I'll give you my card. Because I'll post this, and you can see in a few days. It's going to take me a few days, but you can see where I posted. And
are we your first people?
No.
Today? Oh no.
Actually, I mean, if you go to the website, there's probably about 200 videos.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So and so it's like right here.
Okay.
But it'll take a few days, like I say. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
God bless you guys.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.